Likely it was a headline reading bot, because a lot of the stuff's obviously algo based, because you can just tell by the size of the numbers it's not big depth. So a lot of these algos react to headlines, so they read data and then pull orders. I'm actually going to probe along here. What I saw there is, okay, how do we suddenly just get this move? All right, check. Okay, there's some data. Okay, the two related. Check the volume it's going through. Saw that we had these buyers stepping in. It's kind of the rate of decline had really slowed down. It's just putting lots of things together and going, okay, well, I'll give that a go. All right, so looking at maybe doing a bit of inventory trading here, you can see that we're in an area of agreement and acceptance. I think what's interesting about this is that buyers are front running. If we look at where the bulk of the business was done yesterday for the entire session, notice the front running of this value area, but I suspect that we're going to hang around in a little tight range for a bit. All right, so just been working in here, but not initiating any shorts. I've got this notion of being able to potentially take out a lot of sellers. So for me, this is kind of get to here and no longer want to be short down at this area. It's a real mixed bag of both long and short inventory in here. Sufficient volume on the short side to get a move to really to zing to the upside. Actually, just going to get back on the long side. I want to highlight something which is a bit of a trap, which I think is in play, and that is, okay, so where do you think everyone who was short in that move down was looking at getting out? Probably looking at this previous low. And so if that's the case, how about we don't allow them to get out and we actually get the market to maybe push up and they get caught on the wrong side and cover. So that's the scenario that I am trading. And what I want to be doing is not trading the same thing that everyone else is doing. So if we were all long in here, I wouldn't be interested in following suit. But because I've got a good mixture of both long and short, there's enough in there if my idea works out that if they're wrong, it can pay me. So I got flat, but then I started to see buyers sort of stepping up, just having a bit of a squiz around at lots of things and thinking things through. And I went, oh yeah, how about this? Anyway, here we go, playing out. I just did some business there. See it? I'll just watch that build out. Just while I'm thinking about the pace of the market, I think this is an irony. So people are generally approach trading looking for a fast moving market. However, what speed does is it shortens the amount of time that you can actually think through things. Whereas when you've got time like we have now, I could come up with that scenario and work something out and be part of it and get a good entry, pick up the fact that, okay, well, I was thinking about getting out up here, but then I saw acceptance come in. So the fact that there's time ticking on is actually of great benefit because it allows you to play it at a higher level because you've got time to think strategically and time to act to maximize your executions. Right, I just saw some size start to come in here on the bids. So I mentioned, I just probably don't want to hold up here, but I haven't taken anything off because I picked up a couple of changes. All right, and so great example of in a really fast scenario, I wouldn't have really been able to adapt like that. Now I'll keep an eye on just whether or not we run out of gas. We're also at VWAP and a reasonable transition area. Still haven't taken off my remainder. Really good example of having a view about where I wanted to get out, but then paying attention to the market and seeing things change, seeing the development here. And as a result of that, you end up with the trade paying you more. So if it hadn't been for those things, I would have been out down here somewhere. Those little differences over the course of the day, they all add up. And the same goes for the risk management side as well. I'm not seeing the market want to roll over at this point. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about is this area, just because that's the pre-data high, it's just a level that I know because I trade this thing on a daily basis, that they are numbers that people think about. So we just had a crack at it then. So that was the reason for holding it, and see how we just stopped dead at it. And you can see all the business that just went through there. Look at it all, right? See how that is. So it's this specific high that's drawing a lot of attention. And again, that's an observational edge that you might have because you watch this 100% of the time versus a trader who might trade 7 things, and obviously their attention isn't as focused. Given we've done a fair smattering of business and we're now failing to move anywhere, I'm going to call that right out.